right now on 5 on your side at 10.
A light snow and rain mix moving in overnight into tomorrow morning, and then a quick warm-up for the first weekend in March.
9 months, no new contract. Tonight, SLU nurses stand in solidarity, their message on patient safety. Deadly fires plaguing the bi-state.
Getting more frequent or getting more severe.
Tonight, the message from firefighters to keep you and your family safe. First tonight, all clear right now in St. Louis, but a mix of rain and snow is moving in right now from the southwest. Good evening, I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. That wintry mix could get here just in time for the morning commute. Let's get straight over to meteorologist Jim Castillo with the latest Weather First forecast.
Yeah, that time frame on it is about 3 a.m. to 8 a.m. And so we're watching this batch of when you see green, it's rain, but then there's a little bit of snow mixing in there, and it is headed in our direction. So meteorological spring starts tomorrow. It's the beginning of March. And guess what? We're going to get a little taste of winter in here, but it's going to be really quick and really brief. So this is the forecasted snow accumulations. Again, spotty and on grassy areas, or maybe the cars, but the ground surface temperatures are so warm, we're expecting wet roads and no big issues with the temperature or the roadways, but we'll keep our eyes on it. So light rain and snow late tonight into the morning hours. Then we clear up in the afternoon tomorrow, but you won't believe how warm it gets this weekend. I'll have much more on not only that winter mix, but also those high temperatures by Sunday coming up.
Look forward to that, Jim. And a reminder, you can get the latest Weather First forecast anytime. Just text the word weather to 314-425-5355, and we will send it straight to your phone. We are following breaking news out of Fenton, where one man is dead after a shooting happened in the Jefferson County side of Fenton on Matthews Drive. The sheriff's office says the shooting stemmed from a domestic violence incident. A 39-year-old man died at the hospital. A 20-year-old man is in police custody.
Also breaking tonight, a person was thrown from a car in a two-vehicle crash in downtown St. Louis. This happened about an hour ago at Tucker and Convention Plaza. Fire crews tell us someone was trapped inside one of those cars. One person was taken to the hospital and was not conscious at the time. We'll bring you more information as soon as it becomes available.
A St. Anne woman is dead after an early morning house fire. It is just the latest in a series of recent deadly fires in the bi-state.
Nearly a dozen people have died in the last 10 days, and new tonight, Robert Townsend reports the disturbing trend is prompting firefighters to spread some life-saving tips.
Investigators say early Thursday morning a fire started in the living room of this home on Cram Avenue in St. Anne and trapped a 67-year-old woman inside.
You could see it coming out of the kitchen window.
Firefighters pulled Henry Crumride's next-door neighbor out of the home, but the Air Force veteran died at a hospital.
I just can't imagine, if that was my sister or my mom, my grandma.
Tuesday, investigators say 72-year-old Deborah Johnson was killed in a house fire on Altonwood Drive in Jennings. And last Friday, 4-year-old siblings died after getting trapped in a house fire in Cahokia Heights.
It takes a toll on the firefighters.
How do you all cope?
Camaraderie. We do critical and stress debriefing. Some firefighters seek counseling.
In the past 2 weeks, 11 people have been killed in house fires, 6 of them children.
They're getting more frequent, they're getting more severe.
And that's why Camp Jackson Assistant Fire Chief Sharon Davis is spreading all important safety reminders. First, make sure you and your family have an escape plan.
Everyone should have exits out of their home, at least 2 of them.
And practice it.
They're really supposed to be doing monthly, especially with your children, so it becomes muscle memory.
Never overload extension cords or outlets.
We can have fires, and those fires don't usually start when somebody's sitting there watching TV. It's usually when you're in bed and sleeping.
And of course, we cannot stress this enough. Make sure you have a working smoke detector in your home at all times.
I'm hoping everybody makes it their top priority to be safe.
Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
And remember, free smoke detectors can be picked up at police and fire departments. In some areas, firefighters will come out to your home and install them.
Tomorrow, a funeral will be held for the 4 children killed in a house fire earlier this month in Ferguson. Services for 2-year-old Millie Spader, 6-year-old Jackson Spader, and 9-year-old twins Ellie and Ivy Prusner will be held at the Crossing in Chesterfield. Visitation starts at 2:30. A service will follow at 6 p.m. And a separate funeral will be held for their mother, Bertie Prusner. Investigators believe she intentionally set the fire. The father of Jackson and Millie released a new statement tonight. It reads, quote, "The murder of my 2 beautiful children has changed my life forever. My friends and family are incredibly grateful for the outpouring of support from the community. Please keep us, the kids' classmates, and loved ones in your prayers."
Tonight, nurses at St. Louis University Hospital held a vigil for patient safety. They've continued working on the front lines for nearly a year without a new contract. Our Laura Barczewski is live outside SLU Hospital, where nurses say working conditions have gotten worse. Laura.
Yes, Mike, over this negotiation process, SLU nurses tell me they've actually lost staff and continue to struggle to serve their patients because of unsafe staffing levels. SSM says otherwise.
We want a contract! We want a contract! When do we want it? Now!
St. Louis University Hospital nurses say for the last roughly 10 months, they've been going through a grueling fight for a contract that not only increases wages, but protects them and their patients.
We love St. Louis. We love Urban Hospital, where the most underserved, the most underprivileged come to us for care. And that's what we are here for, and we want to continue to do that.
But right now, they say unsafe staffing levels are sending them home in tears. In some departments, one nurse could be caring for 8 or 9 patients.
An ideal patient ratio would be 4-to-1. In some instances, ICU should be 2-to-1.
Gail Warner works in the behavioral health unit, where she says the staffing crisis has a trickle-down effect.
They don't have adequate hands on deck to do the thorough assessments to medically stabilize the patients before they bring them to us.
A spokesperson for SSM Health says they've maintained consistent and high-quality patient care, releasing a lengthy statement that reads in part, "The National Nurses Organizing Committee's public rhetoric is hurtful to our nurses and other caregivers and professionals who give their all every single day." They say hospital leaders are ready to reach an agreement and have had a substantial increase in wages on the table for months. SLU nurse Earlene Shepard says negotiations have improved slightly.
It seems like they're trying to at least come to the table and at least have a conversation with us.
Nurses say they appreciate the community's support, especially from the Board of Aldermen. President Megan Green says the delay is hurting the community.
It's really important that we're supporting our frontline workers. Everybody's been saying that all pandemic, right? Support our frontline workers. Well, the best way we can support them is by giving them a fair contract.
SSM Health says there is another negotiation day planned for March, and the nurses say they really hope to have a contract by Easter. Reporting in St. Louis, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
A Bridgeton man is behind bars tonight, accused in a hit-and-run crash that seriously injured a 14-year-old boy. The teen was found lying in the shoulder near the intersection of Natural Bridge and McKelvey on Tuesday night. According to court documents, police used surveillance cameras in the area to track down the accused driver, Antonio Corona. He's charged with leaving the scene of an accident. The teen is expected to survive.
Tomorrow, jury selection begins in the trial for Daniel Riley. He is the man charged in last year's downtown crash that caused 17-year-old Janae Edmondson to lose her legs. Opening arguments are expected to begin next Tuesday. Rapper Drake is addressing another horrific crash in downtown St. Louis that killed a mother and daughter who just left his concert.
I want you to turn to somebody that you do not know. I want you to look them in the eyes, and I want you to prove that you're grateful for your life.
Drake made those comments Tuesday night during his concert in Buffalo, New York. He said he watched the video circulating on social media showing the moment a car hit Leticia Bracero and Elisa Cordova on February 12th. Just this week, a judge ordered Monty Henderson on house arrest and to surrender his driver's license.
Tonight, a new initiative is underway to give small businesses a boost. The city of Jennings is allocating $100,000 to 10 small businesses.
The money is to be used to make necessary upgrades. Brent Solomon is just back from Jennings to explain how it works.
Well, let's face it, sometimes just getting up and going to work can be tough. Imagine starting your own business from the ground up. In today's economy, staying in business can also be hard. Leaders in Jennings want to help remove those roadblocks. This bright spot off I-70 and Jennings Crossing was once known as the Pit.
It was dark. It was this whole little turn here was dark, completely black.
But in the past 7 years, a transformation.
So let's light it up. Let's light it up.
Strategic Home Healthcare now offers a variety of services inside of this growing office space, including services for seniors.
Helping them find the resources they need to have a healthy life at home.
And a barber and beauty salon.
This is the shampoo room.
These 3 siblings bought the condemned building and brought it to life.
Yeah.
Every piece of floor you see, every piece of paint, every light you see.
My baby brother had me down here putting this towel on the floor and caulking and everything else.
The city of Jennings wants to see more businesses like this thrive.
Small businesses mean a lot. They're the backbone of our communities.
It's why the city is providing up to $10,000 for businesses who need help. It comes from federal ARPA funds. The money can go towards lighting, security, even HVAC upgrades.
They are not like larger chains, and they don't have that support that larger chains have. So this is one step that we're taking to better our community.
Strategic Home plans on applying.
To have a sidewalk out and steps with a railing that will make it safe for even some of our senior clients that visit the barbershop would be great. And provide a little bit better lighting around the building, creating a more safe environment. So if anybody's willing to support us in any way, we're grateful.
Businesses in Jennings who are interested in applying can call or show up to City Hall to get an application.
Formula fears.
It can happen suddenly and without warning.
It's a potentially fatal disease affecting preemies. Tonight, the I-Team uncovers how it's affecting babies of color disproportionately. Finally 21. The rite of passage celebrated at Fast Eddie's today for a man born when FDR was president.
Look for a light rain and snow mix through the morning, and then a big weekend warm up. How long will it last, and when you'll need your umbrella again?
Tonight, a man is in custody accused of shooting and killing a police officer and court process server in Independence, Missouri. The court worker was shot while trying to serve an eviction notice. 2 officers were shot while coming to his aid. Officer Cody Allen died. The other officer was critically injured.
A high-profile trial that could change the way premature babies are fed in NICUs has finished its first week inside a Belleville courtroom. At issue, whether baby formula companies do enough to warn parents about the increased risk of a deadly intestinal disease.
Tonight, the I-Team's Christine Byers explores why this disease disproportionately affects premature babies of color.
It's a quick killer, and it is one that most people haven't heard about.
It's called necrotizing enterocolitis, or NEC for short.
It's an intestinal disease that primarily affects preterm babies, especially the most preterm babies.
Dr. Ravi Patel is a professor of pediatrics at Emory University and Children's Healthcare, Atlanta.
It's really a very big concern. About 1 in every 10 deaths in the NICU are because of NEC.
Last year, Patel co-authored a study showing Black premature babies are 3 times more likely to die from NEC than white preemies.
We know that preterm birth disproportionately affects Black mothers and Black infants, and NEC is the same. NEC has a substantial racial disparity.
The I-Team found multiple studies, including Patel's, conclude premature babies who are given cow's milk-based formulas are more likely to get NEC than those who are given human milk products only.
We do know one of the best ways to prevent NEC is by providing breast milk and breastfeeding, or when that's not possible, to give donated human milk, which has been shown as a very effective way to prevent the disease.
Now, hundreds of parents across the country are suing formula makers Abbott and Mead Johnson. The first case to make it to trial against Mead Johnson is currently underway in Belleville. It involves a Black mother from Fairview Heights who lost one of her twin sons.
One of the things that makes NEC tragic is it can happen suddenly and without warning.
Some babies can survive.
If they can survive the surgeries, and surgery usually involves removing some of their intestines that have been infected, then they can have a lot of long-term challenges.
A Ferguson mother is also suing the formula companies. One of her twin sons survived and cannot walk, talk, or see, and has cerebral palsy.
Her other son didn't make it. At trial, Meade Johnson attorneys have said their formula doesn't cause NEC, but rather breast milk better protects babies from the disease.
NEC is a multifactorial disease, so there's not one single cause. Breast milk is one of the most important ways to protect babies from NEC, but we do know that even babies who just get breast milk are at risk.
Patel says there is some progress when it comes to closing the racial gap.
Although that disparity has gotten narrower over time, that has still persisted.
Meade Johnson sent a statement to the I-Team regarding the lawsuits. It called the allegations a gross oversimplification of a complex medical condition, and it stated the attacks are not upheld by experts in the medical community. For the I-Team, Christine Byers, 5 on your side.
And if you have a tip for Christine and the 5 on your side I-Team, leave a voice message at 314-444-5231 or send an email to tips@ksdk.com. All calls and correspondence will be kept confidential.
Today is Leap Day. It happens only every 4 years today. Larry Asenpress of Highland, Illinois, celebrated his 21st birthday at Fast Eddie's Bon Air in Alton. But Biddy, as family and friends call him, was actually born in 1940. Besides a free t-shirt from Fast Eddie's, he told us another special birthday gift arrives today.
We're also waiting to hear we're supposed to have a great-great-granddaughter being born today. So that'd be 5 generations in our family.
And it's Asenpress. I want to make sure I pronounce his name right. Biddy and his wife, Kathy, have been married for 62 years. The Highland Rotary Club hosted the party. Biddy is a longtime member and a past president.
And he looks great.
He does.
Meteorologist Jim Castillo is in for Scott tonight, and he's tracking a wintry mix in that weather first forecast. But you're saying that it should just be wet on the roads tomorrow morning?
Yes, and this is why. Obviously we had some 80s earlier in the week. Second warmest February on record here. Chicago, the warmest February on record. So the entire Midwest is warm. So the ground surface temperatures are up. Camera's shaking a little bit, and we're still well above freezing at 43 degrees. But that dew point is low, so the temperature goes down. The dew point tries to meet it, and we're going to see temperatures near freezing, not only now in some places outside of the city, like Scott Air Force Base, Alton, and Sparta, the current temperature at 34, but even around the city about 33 tonight. So then that moisture moves in, a chance of rain and snow, so you get that dry air, but you see the dew points down near Tulsa are a little bit higher. And so we're watching this batch of moisture, and you can see the blues in there, that little bit of a mixture, or even some heavier wet snow. And again, that ground surface temperature is so high that we're expecting just mainly wet roads, but you might see a little bit of a dusting on cars in certain spots. And there's that moisture in there, even the grassy area is possible, but it's going to be that mix all the way through 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., and then it should get out of here by about 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, and then we start to clear up in the afternoon. So that light mix, but you might see a burst of snow. There might be pockets, again, grassy areas in some spots. So we'll watch for that. Just a taste of winter after some 80s during the week. So today's high, even 1 degree above average, 52, average is 51, and that low this morning, 26, average is 32. So tomorrow's high temperature in the low 50s, south wind at 5 to 10. The other big part of the story is what happens Saturday. More of a southwest wind. 73 Kansas City, 71 St. Louis, and Chicago near 60. And then Sunday's forecast, that's an 80-degree temperature. And the record high, by the way, is 85. So we should be just below that record. And even Monday, look at that, a chance of showers and storms, 76. A lot of dry time in there, but a warm day. And then during the week, we should cool down a little bit, closer to 60 by Wednesday and Thursday. Still a chance of rain in here, and then maybe some upper 50s, but still above average by next weekend.
I mean, it's way above average.
Yeah.
The average high is 51.
Right.
Not a day other than maybe tomorrow. It's not going to be average at all.
No. As we get into March, very warm.
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah.
Sports is next with Frank.
We are rocking tonight. City SC prepping for a big one. The Caitlin Clark decision. Mason Widd did something really special today in Jupiter, and it's like a mini 5 on your sideline with highlights from 5 different playoff games.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers, driving your way since 1942.
The pitchers arrive a week earlier than the position players at spring training. So let's use some deductive reasoning. Early on, the pitchers will get the better of the hitters. They are with the Cardinals, who scored 5 runs in their last 4 games. Kyle Gibson made his first start, and this is the first batter of the game. Lane Thomas connects the former Cardinal, and it will sail over the wall for a 1-0 Nationals lead. Next batter is going to be James Wood, and he gets a fat pitch, and he smashes it. Gibson gave up 3 runs in 2 innings. The play of the day was turned in by Mason Wynn. The high chopper off the plate. Wynn still has time to grab it and throw the runner out. Washington wins 3-1, but Mike Claiborne, how about that play by Wynn?
He has the potential to have the grace of Ozzie with Sean Dunkston's arm. Smooth delivery, good hands, very versatile, very agile. He just needs seasoning, and we may be talking about a guy who one day might be in the same sentence with Ozzie Smith.
Wow.
This 5 on Your Side St. Louis City SC coverage is sponsored by Together Credit Union.
City SC is back in action on Saturday against New York City FC at City Park. Now that their Champions Cup run is over, it's all about the MLS season. Their first match in MLS play ended in a draw, and after Tuesday's performance in Houston, the team is ready to turn the page.
You know, we're optimistic and positive that we'll get over this little hurdle that we've been dealt with. So, I mean, we can always make an excuse and reflect and talk about, you know, staggered preseason, players not in camp, players in camp. We can look at some injuries, but we don't want to be about that. We want to be about looking forwards. We believe we have a competitive roster, and that's what we're going to try and put out.
A financial planner may not agree with this move. Caitlin Clark makes over $900,000 at the University of Iowa. Today, she announced she's going to the WNBA next season. Rookie salaries in the WNBA are $76 grand. Now, she could make plenty of money in endorsements in the league, so who knows how it will pan out. We do know that last night, Caitlin became the all-time leading scorer in women's college basketball. Dale Ribble in Westminster facing host school Parkway Central in the district. J.D. Robertson, Ryan's son, shoots like his dad. Some range right there for 3. The Colts have weapons too. Oliver Kokel, he's going to knock down the 3. But Robertson would not cool down. He had 26 points. I think he could beat his dad in horse right now. Westminster advances 57-41. Rockwood Summit taking on a talented Vianney team at Webster Groves. Max Roth hits an early 3 for Summit, and their bench absolutely loves it. But Vianney has some star power. Luke Walsh, pull-up jumper. He had 26 tonight. And even when he misses, 7'2" Simon Guy will get the tip in. How about that? Vianney rolls 80-47. Next up, Jay Blossom in Principia at MICDS. Now, this is a big-time shooter. Gabriel Weaver right there on the wing. Now, you got to see this freshman for Prin. His name is Gresham Torre. Holy cow, he's a freshman. MICDS had too much. Jason Stokes will drain it, and the Rams roll 63-60. The energy was high this morning for the Oakville Lady Rockets Class 1A semifinals against St. Bede. Elena Krause exploded for 25, and they're into the finals with a 44-30 victory. In Class 2A, it was Nashville facing Robinson. The Hornets are young, but boy, are they unselfish. Emma Berman has a clear path for the lay-in. Nashville makes it to the finals with a 52-36 win, and that'll do it in sports.
All right, Frank, thanks.
All right, talk about a tough trooper. The Missouri officer who didn't bail when he came across a hay hazard. Tonight, dashcam video of a Missouri State Highway Patrol trooper has gone viral.
I don't know how he does this. Take a look. Trooper Isaiah LeMasters came across a large round bale of hay blocking Route A in Callaway County. Instead of calling for backup, the trooper put his muscles to work, lifting with his legs, of course, and he single-handedly tossed it onto the side of the road.
How in the world? You may think that hay is really that heavy. Well, we're told those large rounds can weigh 800 to 1,000 pounds.
He must
He really
be in the
lifted with his
gym a
legs.
lot.
Yeah.
To be able
Had to
do
have been
that.
like an offensive guard or something.
Yeah.
Probably
That is
squatted
very,
500.
very impressive.
Shocking.
His
All right.
back's gonna hurt tomorrow.
Yes. Little change in our weather.
Yes, we have a little bit of a winter taste coming, I'd say between 3 a.m. and about 8 a.m. And there it is around Branson, some rain, and south of there and west of there, a little bit of wet snow. So then you look at the futurecast, and there it is, right through the metro, about 4, 5, 6 a.m. And again, not expecting any problems on the roadways, but maybe a dusting on some cars or some grassy areas.
And then 80 on Sunday.
Yes, the 80 Sunday.
There you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Start your day with the Today in St. Louis team at 4 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.